Another protozoan disease, malaria. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium species. It is transmitted from one person to another by the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. Plasmodium lives in the RBC of human in the mature stage called trophocyte. Then there are 4 different species of Plasmodium. 4 different species of Plasmodium that cause 4 different types of malaria. Plasmodium vivax. It causes vivax malaria or benign tertian malaria or tertian malaria. And then the duration of infective cycle 48 hours. Then Plasmodium malariae. It causes quartan malaria. The duration of infective cycle 72 hours. Plasmodium ovale. Mild tertian malaria. Then 48 hours. Then Plasmodium falciparum, it's a very important one. Plasmodium falciparum, malignant malaria or quotidian malaria. And then duration infective cycle 36 to 48 hours. So this one fatal one. Plasmodium falciparum infection is fatal one. Okay. Life cycle of Plasmodium. Life cycle, the malaria is caused by the parasite Plasmodium. Malaria is caused by protozoan parasite called Plasmodium. And then it has 2 different stages in its life cycle. Primary stage, primary host. The primary host for Plasmodium is the female Anopheles mosquito. Then the secondary host is the man. So primary host where sexual reproduction occurs. Secondary host only asexual reproduction occurs. Okay. So there are 2 different hosts. Female Anopheles mosquito is the primary host and man is the secondary host. There are 3 different phases in the life cycle of Plasmodium. 3 different phases in the life cycle of Plasmodium. So 1, schizogony, gamogony, and sporogony. Schizogony, gamogony, and sporogony. So schizogony. So schizogony in the sense, when the infected female Anopheles mosquito happens to bite a healthy person in the sense, so that during that time, from female Anopheles mosquito, infected female Anopheles mosquito, the sporozoids reach. The sporozoids enter into the bloodstream. Sporozoids enter into the bloodstream of human, and then it passes through the bloodstream and reach the liver cells. And then reach the liver cells. In the liver cells, they multiply. The sporozoids multiply and undergo asexual fission, divide into many to produce merozoids. Single nucleus divides into many, each nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm to form merozoids. That's what called schizogony. Then merozoids which are released from the liver cells by the lysis of liver cells, merozoids are released. And then this is what called exoerythrocytic cycle. All this taking place outside the RBC. The next one, endoerythrocytic cycle. Even in the schizogony, endoerythrocytic cycle. Inside the RBCs, the merozoids become propozoid. And then actually it obtains a stage called signet ring stage and assumes a signet ring stage. So in the form of a ring, the nucleus and cytoplasm pushed towards one side by a large vacuole. The propozoid becomes a schizon and its nucleus divides into many by schizogony only. Each nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm to form merozoids. Each merozoid is single nucleus. Each merozoid has single nucleus. The merozoids are released by the lysis of RBCs. And then attack new RBC cells. So then it results in during the lysis of RBC, hemozoin granules, toxic hemozoin granules are released into the blood, and then red blood cells also released, and then this will cause fever. Okay, that's what fever is caused only by due to the symptoms are caused only by due to the releasing of that one. The merozoids are released by the lysis of RBC. It results in the cycles of fever and other symptoms by releasing hemozoin granules, toxic hemozoin granules into the blood. Then gametogamy. Some of the merozoids develop into some merozoids attack RBC, Other neurocytes, some neurocytes develop into gametocytes, macrogametocytes and microgametocytes, megagametocytes and microgametocytes. And then the megagametocytes develop into female gametes. Microgametocytes develop into male gametes. In the mosquitoes of the gut, male and female gametes fuse. Male and female gametes fuse to form zygote. The zygote develops into a structure called ookinete. The ookinete migrates to the mosquito's gut and develops into oocytes. Then sporogony, oocyte nucleus, diploid nucleus, and then divides by meiosis to form 4 nuclei, and then 4 nuclei develop give rise to many nuclei to form sporozoites. The sporozoites migrate to the salivary glands of the mosquito, and next cycle begins. So this is what life cycle of Plasmodium. So schizogony, gamogony, and sporogony. Schizogony, gamogony, and sporogony. So life cycle of Plasmodium shows through 3 different phases: schizogony, gamogony, and sporogony. So schizogony, it is composed of 2 different stages: exoerythrocytic cycle, that's a pre-erythrocytic cycle, and endoerythrocytic cycle. Pre-erythrocytic cycle. When an infected female Anopheles mosquito bites a person, the sporocytes are injected into the blood along with the saliva. Sporocytes in the bloodstream reach the hepatic cells, liver cells, and hepatic cells of the liver cells. Sporocytes undergo multiple asexual fission. Each nucleus divides into many. Single nucleus divides into many, surrounded by cytoplasm, so to form many structures. So that's what called schizogony. Produce merocytes, main number of cells called merocytes, which are released from the liver cells by the rise of liver cells and penetrate the RBCs, attack the RBC cells. Endoerythrocytic cycle taking place within the RBC. Endoerythrocytic cycle, inside the RBCs, the merocytes become propozoid and assume the signet ring stage. Signet ring stage. Large vacuole pushes the cytoplasm nucleus towards one side. The tropozoid becomes schizont, divides into many, and its nucleus divides into many nuclei and surrounded by cytoplasm to form merozoids. Such structures are called merozoids. These merozoids are mononucleated, each merozoid having single nucleus. The merozoids are released by the lysis of RBCs, and it results in the cycles of fever and other symptoms by releasing hemozoin granules. Actually, by the rupture of RBC cells, what happened here? The damaged RBC cells and then toxic hemozoin granules are released into the blood. So that will result in fever followed by chillness, shivering, and all that. Okay. Gamogony. Some of the merocytes differentiate into megagametocytes and microgametocytes. When these are ingested by mosquito and develop into female and male gametes respectively. So when it visits the infected person, that time what happened here? The merocytes enter. They develop into megagametocyte, microgametocytes. When these are ingested by mosquitoes and develop into female and male gametes respectively. In the mosquito's gut, male and female gametes fuse to form a diploid zygote. Zygote develops into ookinete. And then ookinete migrates to the mosquito's gut and develops into oocyte, surrounded by thick wall layer called oocyte. The next one, sporogony. The oocyte nucleus divides a diploid nucleus. oocyte nucleus divides by meiosis, and then followed by many divisions to give more number of cells called the process called sporogony to form the sporocytes. The sporocytes migrate to the salivary gland and of mosquito, and next cycle begins. Next cycle begins when it bites healthy certain person, it will be transmitted to that. Okay, this is what cycle. You just see that here, mosquito. Mosquito bites a person, sporocytes are released into the blood, and then the sporocytes reach the liver, and then attack the liver cells, and then rupture of liver cells, merocytes are released, and the merocytes attack RBCs, and then signatoring stage, tropocytes, Sison stage, merocytes, and then rupture of RBCs. Again, what happened here? Rupture of RBCs, merocytes are released, and then after that, again merocytes attack more RBCs. Then some of the merocytes develop into gametocytes, and then enter mosquito when it visits the infected person. When it bites the infected person, gametocytes enter into the mosquito, gut of the mosquito. In the gut, microgametocyte, megagametocyte develop into macrogamete, in the sense female gamete. Microgamete in the sense male gamete. Male gamete taking place, male gamete formation takes place by X flagellation. And then male and female gametes fuse to form diploid zygote. And then oocyte divides by meiosis. Divides by meiosis to give sporocytes. Sporocytes again reach the gut of the mosquito, salivary glands of the mosquito, and then again next cycle begins. And then pathological changes. Malaria affects not only RBCs. Malaria affects Plasmodium affects not only RBCs but also spleen. Malaria affects not only RBCs but also spleen and other visceral organs. Spleen and other visceral organs in the sense inner organs of the body. Incubation period is about 12 days. Symptoms: headache, nausea and muscular pain. Headache, nausea and muscular pain. These are early symptoms. And then due to release of hemozoin toxins, toxic hemozoin granules, and by the lysis of RBC and erythrocyte deposits into the bloodstream, resulting in malarial paroxysms. Malarial paroxysms, this is valipu, malaria valipu, paroxysms, shivering, chills, high fever, followed by sweating. It's shivering, chills, high fever, followed by sweating. After the sweating, again temperature lowers, and then again increases. Okay, fever and chills caused by malarial toxins that induce macrophages. Fever and chills are caused by malarial toxins, that is hemozoin granules, that induce macrophages to release tumor necrosis factor and interleukins. Tumor necrosis factor and interleukin. So these are all related with immune system. We will study about that one in immune system. Then prevention. So break up the link between the vector and host. How to break that one? So first thing you have to break by killing the larvae, pupa of the mosquito. How it can be done? By spraying spraying oil onto the water. When you spray oil onto the water layer, what happens there? The larvae and pupae reach the water body, surface of the water to breathe. So the breathing will be affected. So that they will be damaged. And then release of some fishes into the ponds and then water sagging areas. So Gambusia fishes. So that will just feed. Gambusia fishes will feed larvae of mosquito. But in that way you can control. And then next one, mosquito Bacillus thuringiensis is sprayed onto the water bodies. Bacillus thuringiensis, already you studied about Bacillus thuringiensis, is a biopesticide, bioinsecticide. So when you just spray that one, it will kill the larvae of that one. And then people are advised to use mosquito nets, wire caulking of windows and doors. And then again insecticide like DDT and various other insecticides are used. But when you use all that, it will affect the pollution. It will affect the environment by causing pollution, water pollution, air pollution, then soil pollution, like that. So you have to use mosquito repellents. Also it can be used but not given in your book. Mosquito repellents. And then mosquito nets, safe one. Mosquito net you have to use. And then mosquito wire caulking of windows and doors.